elimination or substitution method, solve the following system of linear equations. And then using elimination or substitution method, solve the following system of linear equations. As you can see, we have three linear equations. We have equation 1, equation 2, equation 3 هني. And then we are going to use either elimination or substitution. اثنيناتهم يعني you should know how to do for both يعني at this point. And I will just go through it very quickly لأن it's easy. بنسوي elimination. For elimination we have to choose two equations أول شيء عشان we eliminate one of them, and then we have to choose another two equations عشان we do the elimination again وبعدين بنعوض. فبناخذ بس 1 and 2. equation 1 plus equation 2 أول شيء هو equation x plus y plus z is equal to minus 8. زين وعندنا minus 2x minus y plus z is equal to 1. زين. Instead of actually taking equation 1 and 2, and I'm just going to analyze this very quickly. أشوف شو أسهل if I just take equation 1 و equation 3 instead. ليش باخذ equation 1 و equation 3؟ الفكرة لأن أنا I noticed هني عندنا minus already minus z وهني عندنا plus z. So we know we can just directly add these two equations وبيتكنسل لنا بدون ما نغير أرقام أو نسوي أي حركة زيادة. فلأن شفت هني same coefficient, this is 1z وهني 1z والsign ماله is opposite. This is positive and this is negative. So instead of taking equation 1 and 2, what I will do is I will take equations 1 and 3 because it's much more straightforward that way. For x minus 2y minus z is equal to 1. So in this case, we're going to be eliminating. We have a system of two equations. We're going to be eliminating z directly when we just add these two equations. So adding بالترتيب x plus x اللي هو x plus x بعدين plus y minus 2y minus 2y plus z minus z is equal to minus 8 plus 1. Okay. As you can see, is z minus z automatically will be eliminated. فافتكينا منه 2x x plus x is 2x, y minus 2y is 2e minus y, plus minus y, or we can directly just say this is minus y, and then is equal to minus 8 plus 1 is 2e minus 7. So we got our new equation. We'll call this equation 4. This is equation 4. And then now we will go back to the main equations again and we will do the elimination again. Elimination to do it, and then تاخذون الحين two new equations طبعا يا تقدرون تاخذون 2 and 3 أو 1 and 2 بس again the same idea for the second set. أنا باخذ البلس c هني لأنه positive وهني negative, it will cancel out very directly, so we can do that straightforward. إنزين فأنا I'll take equation 2 and equation 3. equation 2 is minus 2x الحين equation 2 و equation 3. equation 2 is minus 2x minus y plus z is equal to minus 4. And then equation 3 is x minus 2y minus z is equal to 1. I'll just repeat again. السبب اخترت these two equations and the plus z and minus z will cancel out each other, so it will make it simpler. And then for now we just add them. Then we could just add them. فبنبدأ minus 2x plus x plus x minus y minus 2y minus 2y plus z minus z is equal to minus 4 plus 1. Okay, and we can just simply الحين يعني just we can see in z is going to be going to 0 equal to 0. Z minus z minus 2x plus x will become minus x, and then will minus y minus 2y will become minus 3y is equal to minus 4 plus 1, which is going to be minus 3. And this we will call our equation 5. فالحين شو نسوي؟ الحين we eliminated ال Z, we eliminated the third variable. instead of having a 3 by 3 الحين عندنا a new 2 by 2 system. we can just say عندنا 2x minus y is equal to 7. زين. وعندنا minus x minus 3y is equal to minus 3. هذا equation 4 و equation 5. زين. Now نسوي طريقة elimination. عندنا هني minus هني plus. مثلا we're eliminating x in this case. عندنا هني minus, we have a negative sign. وهني عندنا plus. Because they are opposite signs it's perfect. We don't have to multiply with negative or anything. بس لأن هني 2 هني 1 we have to multiply the bottom one by 2. So times 2 times 2 times 2. زين. So if I'm going to rewrite this equation, it's going to be minus 2x minus 2 times 3. زين. 2 times 3 6y or 2 times minus 3 minus 6. So this is again just equation 5. زين. Now if we're going to just rewrite the full simultaneous equations again, بيكون عندنا 2x minus y equals 7. This is just equation 4. زين. وبعدين بنكتب minus 2x minus 6y is equal to minus 6. زين. And this is just equation 5. All right. And now we can just add them عشان we eliminate and find y. زين. شنو minus 7 وين انكتبت؟ اوكي سوري توني لاحظت. زين minus 7 هني لأن this is minus 7. Thank you for that. وهني بيكون minus 7. زين. So minus 7. Now we're just going to add them. 2x أول term ثاني term minus 2x ثالث term minus y رابع term minus 6y is equal to minus 7 minus 6. Alright, 2x and minus 2x is 0. يبقى لنا minus y minus 6y is to minus 7y. زين. This is just this term is equal to minus 7 minus 6 اللي هو minus 13. Okay, so y is equal to, we just divide both sides by minus 7. Y is equal to 13 over 7. لأنه minus والminus بيتكنسلون. ف 13 over 7 هني minus 7 يتكنسلون, which is equal to ما أعرف وين الكالكوليتر مالي, بس it is just going to be equal to 13 over 7. Just 2 seconds, let me get my calculator, just 2 seconds. Sorry about that. 13 divided by 7 is going to be 1.857. 1.857. فطلعنا الواي. خلصنا أول variable. Now, before going to the first equation, بنعوض هني in one of equations 4 or 5. So we know that y is 1.857. Select one of these two equations, one of these, إنزين. هلا خلنا ناخذ equation 4 مثلا. إنزين. وبنعوض y in equation 4. فبيستوي 2x minus y اللي هو 1.857 is equal to negative 7. And we will solve for x هني عشان نطلع ال x. ف 2x is equal to minus 7 plus 1.857. إنزين. اللي هو minus 7 plus 1.857 بيكون minus 5.143. X we divide by 2 on both sides عشان we cancel the 2's. X is just going to be equal to divide by 2, 2.572. Okay, so we found our X, we found our Y. بيكون في minus طبعا, this is a negative number لأن here it's negative. إنزين. So negative 2.572. تمام. And we found our X. إنزين. So yeah, we found our X, we found our Y. خلصنا الحين. We found our two variables. Now we can use both of these عشان نعوض in any of the given equations, equation 1 أو equation 2 أو equation 3. أنا باخذ مثلا equation 1. فequation 1 شو كان؟ equation 1 كان x plus y plus z is equal to minus 8 if I am not mistaken. أريد أتأكد بس. x plus y plus z is equal to minus 8. وطلعنا هني الx نعرف إنه يساوي minus 2.572 والy يساوي 1.857 وبس بنعوض هذيل الحين الx هني بنعوضه في الx والفاليو مال y بنعوضه في الy. Alright, and now we just solve for z فبيكون minus 2.572 plus 1.857 plus z is equal to minus 8. بما معناه z is equal to minus 8. I'm just going to take this to the other side as well as this to the other side. For minus 8 plus 2.572 minus 1.857. Z is equal to minus 8 plus 2.572 minus 1.857. Then it's going to give me negative 7.285. And I found my Z. فطلعنا الX, طلعنا الY, طلعنا الZ. Then you found Y to be equal to 2.2. في شيء غلط if you found Y to be equal to 2.2. تأكد من شغلك. Then it's going to be 13 divided by 7. 13 divided by 7 cannot be more than 2 لأن 14 over 7 is 2. So it has to be less than 2. Any questions about this so we can move on? I think everyone الحين فاهم elimination. Substitution شو تبون شو بتسوون في substitution? Substitution بس على السريع يعني I'll give you idea. هني for example equation 1 إنزين بتسوون z على you want it by itself on the left side is equal to minus 8 minus x minus y. إن الx والy وديناهم الصوب الثاني. وبعدين بناخذ مثلا equation 2 نفس الحركة بنسوي الz بنخليه على صوب واحد. excuse me. فالz بنخليه على صوب واحد وبعد بنودي كل شيء الصوب الثاني فminus 4 plus 2x plus y. Okay? And now we know that z is equal to z. فمعناته this has to be equal to this. فصار عندنا a new equation of two unknowns و two equations only. فبيكون minus 8 minus x minus y is equal to minus 4 plus 2x plus y. إنزين؟ فوي equated these. الحين شو بنسوي؟ بنرد نسوي نفس الحركة with 2 and 3 مثلا. إنزين؟ إنه we will equate 2 with 3. فإذا كتبنا 3 إنزين z is going to be equal to x minus 2y minus 1. أنا شو سويت؟ I just took the z to the other side وال1 I brought it here فصار z positive وال1 is to a negative x minus 2 minus 1 equation 3. And now we will equate this equation this z with any of these two يعني with either 1 or 2. إنزين عشان نطلع another equation which has only x and y in it. طبعا بعدين لازم ترتبونه يعني مثلا في هالاكزامبل بنرتبه بنحط كل الاكس والواي على صوب والكوفيشنتس الصوب فبيستوي ال 2x بيروح هني والy بيروح هني والماينس 8 بنوديه الصوب الثاني something like this يعني بيكون ال equation 1 or I should say equation 4 in this case and then بيكون minus x minus y is a minus x plus 2x يستوي minus وماينس فماينس 3x لأن this will become negative وبعدين minus y plus y بعد بيصير minus فماينس 2y وإذا ودينا ال 8 الصوب الثاني يستوي plus ف 8 minus 4 يساوي 4 فهذا this is our first equation وبعدين when we do the same equating with the third equation with either the second أو the first بيطلع لنا equation ثاني هني we do the simultaneous and then you solve it with either substitution or equation. Yes, you can do elimination with 1 and 3 or 1 and 2. It works. It's fine. أنا السبب اللي اخترت 1 and 3 و 2 و 3 لأن I don't have to يعني أعدل في الإكويشن قبل ما أسوي الإليمينيشن. ليش؟ لأن هني الماينس Z والZ they will cancel out وهني بعد مرة 2 and 3 الZ والماينس Z will directly cancel out. So عشان توفرون على وقتكم الوقت ونفس الوقت يعني ما تخربطون في الكالكوليشن ما calculation. You can directly just choose the easier ones to do it. بس ما في شيء غلط. If you chose 1 and 2 مثلا و 1 and 3 it works. You might get a question which specifies هني مثلا use the elimination or substitution method مكتوب. فإذا اخترنا elimination هاي الطريقة وإذا سوينا substitution this will be the substitution. Applying 1 and 2 will work. بس بيكون يعني بيكون في one extra step. شو بيكون الفرق؟ 1 and 2 you're just gonna have to multiply one of them with a minus. إنزين عشان I just show you real quick. هاي سوينا copy paste على السريع. إنزين إذا اخترنا الحين 1 and 2 إنزين 1 plus 2 أوكي فالsimultaneous equation عندنا x plus y plus z is equal to minus 8 وعندنا الثاني minus 2x minus y plus z is equal to minus 4. If we are trying to eliminate z مثلا إنزين remember during elimination when you're doing it twice you have to do it for the same variable. عشان when you are finding the last two equations يكون بس في two variables مو ب 3 إنزين ف إذا الحين في يعني in this case إذا سوينا هني if we are trying to eliminate z we just have to multiply one of them with minus 1 ليش؟ لأن هني plus وهني plus so one of them has to be negative. To do that we just multiply مثلا the bottom one with minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 يعني this is the additional step you're going to have to do. For the new equation will become 2x plus y minus z is equal to 4. وبعدين you take this equation over here with equation 2 over here هاي simultaneous مالكم بيكون و you solve the same exact way. Okay? Any questions about elimination or the substitution method? I'm pretty sure يعني this is straightforward. Most of you shouldn't have an issue with this. زين. نروح هاي ل question 2. Question 2. If two closed loops of an electrical circuit, in two closed loops, sorry, of an electrical circuit, the following currents are given by the simultaneous equation. فعندنا equation 1 و equation 2. زين. Use the determinant matrix method to solve for the unknown variables. زين فعندنا two equations, two unknowns. في الطريقة اللي يسوونها في الصف like I said أنا مو متأكد أنتو الطريقة في الصف بالضبط how it is بس أنا طريقتي يعني I feel is much simpler so I will just do it the way I do it. أول شيء يكون ال simultaneous equation نفس العادي إنه لازم يكونون ال I1 وال I2 على صوب مثلا وال 4 وال 1 على صوب ثاني. ف before starting anything أنا I will say I1 is equal to X و I2 is equal to Y لأن أنا أحب أتعامل ويا ال X وال Y it just makes things much easier. ف if I just rewrite these equations بيكون عندي X plus 2Y is equal to minus 4. All I did was take the 4 to the other side وهني بسوي نفس الشيء ويا minus 1 و equation 2 بيكون 5X plus 3Y is equal to 1. اوكي في الامتحان تقدرون تسوون هالشيء تقولون I1 is equal to X و I2 equal to Y for two reasons. One عشان انتم بروحكم ما تضيعون يوم تحصلون الجواب مال X و Y و two لان I know how يعني annoying it can be اذا تكتبون I1 I2 تلخبطون مرات it happens انا بعد تصير فيني that's why I always يعني change them to X and Y. فعندنا هذا equation 1 وهذا equation 2. now هني الميثود اللي we have to use is the determinant method. فأول شيء لو تتذكرون شو قلت لكم نحصل ال determinant itself. ال determinant how do you find it؟ أول شيء you write ال equation مالكم كيف ال equation هذا if you want to write it in matrix form it's basically written this way and then ال x which is coefficient 1 this is كأنه يعني 1 إنزين 1 عندكم هني 2 هني 5 وهني 3 فهاي اللي بتكتبون 1 2 5 3 in the same order and make sure ال x's فوق بعض وال y's فوق بعض. زين يعني I1 على I1 و I2 فوق I2 alright times x y is equal to السولوشن مالكم اللي هو minus 4 and 1. تمام. So this is how you write usually the matrix. So we need to find the determinant. أول شيء we find the main determinant of the matrix اللي نسميه D, which is just the determinant of 1, 2, 5, 3. And just a reminder on how to do this, بتاخذون first and last term and you will multiply. زين ف 1 times 3 بتحطون minus sign وبعدين you will take the next two terms and you will multiply again. So 2 and 5. So this is going to be equal to 3 minus 10, which is equal to, أو بنقول D is equal to minus 7. Okay. So this is our first determinant. زين الحين نبغى نطلع ال dx. زين what was dx if you remember؟ حق ال dx زين dx بدال ال 1 5 بدال ال x بنحط ال solution. The solution will go in its place اللي هو بما معناه لأن don't forget this is x and this is your y. صح ولا لا؟ من فوق هني هاي عندنا y زين وهني عندنا ال x. فحق ال dx we will replace the solution بس in the first determinant. ف if we replace minus 4 and 1 الكولوم هذا in here and زين والy يتم نفس الشيء 2 3. تمام. Now this is equal to minus 4 times 3 times 3 times sorry minus 1 times 2 1 times 2 is equal to 3 minus 10 هني بيكسي sorry minus 12 minus 3 minus 2 sorry minus 4 times 3 is 12 minus 1 times 2 is 2 so minus 12 minus 2 which implies dx is equal to 10. All right, just let me make sure I didn't make any mistakes here. Minus 4 times 3 is 12 minus 4 times 3 هني minus 4 عندنا 1 okay 1 and 2 is 3 إيه تمام. minus 4 times 3 is minus 12 minus 12 minus 1 times 2 so it's minus not minus I don't know why I wrote 10 إنزين بصراحة يعني it's minus 14 إنزين so minus 12 minus 2 is minus 14. Okay, now we will do the exact same thing for dy. Okay, dy عندنا ال y which we have to replace with a solution زين and we just find the determinant فبيكون 1 5 this is equal to 1 5 ال x stays the same and 2 and 3. Okay, and 2 and 3 but sorry not 2 and 3 minus 4 and 1 we are replacing it with the solution so minus 4 and 1. Okay, so بس بعيد ال dx we replace the x column ويا solution زين وحق ال dy we will replace the y column ويا solution so it's minus 4 1 so in this case y 2 3 بدال 2 3 بنحط minus 4 وال 1 and then we just do the determinant again 1 times 1 minus 4 times 5 which is equal to 2 minus ويا minus بيصير plus plus 4 times 5 is 20 so this is going to be equal to ما أعرف ليش بعد مرة حطيت 2 this is 1 1 times 1 is 1 1 plus 20 so this is dy which is equal to 21. Okay, so far so good. حصلنا الحين ال dx وال dy. Now very simply كيف نطلع ال x وال y؟ ال x نحطه بالأخضر ال x is equal to dx over ال d زين so this is basically equal to شنو ال dx minus 14 وشو كان ال d minus 7 equal to minus 14 over 7 minus يتكنسلون يستوي 14 over 7 which is 2 وحق ال y it's going to be the exact same thing ال y is equal to dy over ال d which is equal to dy هنا الحين في حالتنا minus 14 لا sorry 21 over minus 7 وبيطلع لكم الجواب minus 3. Now This is your final answer. الحين again I need to explain something very important هني. Okay. عندنا هني minus 3 الواي يساوي minus 3 حصلنا في النهاية x equal to 2 الواي is equal to minus 3. إذا تشيكون السولوشنز ال x equal to 2 وال y equal to minus 3 في ال question 2 I believe I remember checking them yesterday المفروض يكون كذي. بس هم طريقتهم غير يعني I think الدي واي مالهم طلع نيجاتيف. ليش؟ لأن أنا this is the way I do it. They don't do it the same method I do. هم يخلون ال 4 وال minus 1 on the left hand side عشان كذا they're introducing a negative. أنا I feel like that could be a bit confusing. إنزين so from my case أنا بطريقتي أنا شوي الحل يختلف عن الحل اللي في الإكزام نوت. But this is the way I do it. So I'll just يعني repeat how I did it again. انا اللي سويته عندي الماتريكس مالي I'm pretty sure all of you know how to write it وبعدين عندي السولوشن مالي. ال D is just the determinant of the matrix اللي هو 1 times 3 minus 5 times 2 بيطلع لنا minus 7. ال dx I replace السولوشن ويا ال 1 and 5 انزين وحق ال dy I replace السولوشن ويا ال 2 و 3 وبعدين I do the determinant ويطلع لي الأجوبة مال dx and dy. وبعدين directly I can say x is equal to the dx over d اللي هو الدي اكس اللي طلعته والواي is just equal to dy over d. This method is known as Cramer's rule. Both methods are correct. زين both methods are exactly correct. زين بس keep in mind if you will do this method المethod مالي you have to align them نفس ما we always align simultaneous equations. السولوشن أو numbers without variables لازم يكونون on the right hand side. الطريقة اللي I'm pretty sure they taught you in class they left everything on the left hand side. وأنا I'm not comfortable with that one ف I wouldn't know how to explain it بالضبط لأن أنا I don't use that method at all. But this is how I always solve any linear equation for me يعني any matrix equations. إنزين again this is different than the method اللي سويتوه في الامتحان. So على methodology اللي أنا سويته في any questions anything not clear. Like I said احنا هني الميثودولوجي مالنا we don't mess around with signs and make sure نحفظ فورمولا وما فورمولا. احنا we go very straightforward. It's very direct. All we do is we find the determinant of the original matrix اللي هو 1 2 5 3. We find the determinant then we replace the solution مالنا ويا ال x and then we replace the solution مالنا ويا ال y to find dx and dy respectively. حد عنده سؤال على طريقتي أنا على هالطريقة الكريمرز رول؟ Is it okay? نروح للسؤال اللي عقبه عيال. You can use طبعا any method ما بيخسرونكم علامات if you use this method or the method was taught in class لأن they're exactly the same thing بس التطبيق شوي يختلف من يعني من كم من ناحية يعني بس it's exactly the same thing so don't worry about that if you want to use this method it's completely fine. وإذا المدرس ما يبى إنه you use this method ونقصكم علامات كلموني أنا بكلم مدرسكم لا تحاتون. زين اظن الكوردينيتور بلال لا بروح بكلم بلال دايركتلي so don't worry this method is correct يعني انا ما قاعد اعلمكم شيء غلط ما قاعد اعلمكم a method that is not used or a special trick it's exactly the same method just the way of solving the technique is a little bit different. Now question 3 ندش فيه question 3 I believe is a trigonometric question زين اي لانه في angles that's why اي تذكرت هالسؤال. هاي السؤال بعد في a small mistake in the figure اللي في الصورة and I will explain that in a bit. The height of a building is 12 meters. فعندنا بناية. انزين عندنا بناية. Okay. Let's say this is the side of the building and this is 12 meters. تمام. From the top of the building the angle of depression of the top and the foot of the lamppost are 30 degrees and 60 degrees respectively. شو معناته؟ معناته the angle of depression من التوب from this point over here from this point the top of the building بنروح step by step of the top and the foot of the lamp. فأول شيء يقول of the top of the lamp is 30 degrees وبعدين يقول of the foot of the lamp it's 60 degrees. كيف نعرف انه on order؟ لأنه قايل respectively معناته in the same order. فالtop is 30 degrees and the foot of the lamp is 60 degrees. ف what do we understand from this؟ إنه لو أنا الحين رسمت الخط إنزين what is the angle of depression أول؟ يكون هني with the horizontal you are looking down. فأول angle was 30 degrees. إنزين خلي أرسمه كامل كخط سيده. إنزين this is 30 degrees and this is to the top of the lamp. Okay, and the bottom of the lamp is going to be on the ground here طبعا. إنزين and this angle sorry this angle over here من هني للbottom of the lamp this angle هني remember this angle all the way from the horizontal كامل هالانجل هني this is 60 degrees. Okay, so we have this full angle. الحين بس عشان I complete this إن ما تتلخبطون. ف this is our lamp البنفسجي هني this is the lamp. Okay, angle of depression من top of the building إنزين this is the building هاي البيلدينج مالنا إنزين the angle of depression from the top of the building to the top of the lamp إنزين هو 30 degrees و from the top of the building to the bottom of the lamp هو كامل هذا 60 degrees. تمام؟ فالحين if I want to solve this it is very straightforward. Let's just put some يعني نسوي some points هني عشان بس I can easily refer to the angles and everything. هني خلينا نسميه B لأنه it's the top of the building. هني بنسميه ال T top of the lamp وهني بنسميه ال D مثلا ال down lamp. زين I'm just يعني identifying ال points. alright فهاي سميتها أنا B وهاي سميتها T وهاي سميتها D. ما أتذكر في السؤال how they were identified. زين now it is asking what is the height of the lamppost. So this is our X يعني ال H مالنا or our X or whatever. This is our X. This height over here is X from here until the bottom هني. Okay, this is our X. نعرف الحين ان عندنا triangles وعندنا angles. We know all the شو اسمه all the dimensions. زين بس we need to actually use trigonometry عشان we solve and find this angle X. Now أول شيء we can see إن عندنا هني two triangles, two right angle triangles وإحنا نبغى نستخدم right angle triangles. This يعني over here is a right angle. صح ولا لا؟ So we have the big triangle outside اللي هو خلنا we put one more point O هني مثلا. زين عندنا OBD وعندنا OBT. These two triangles. All right. So the first triangle is this triangle, this big triangle هني. Well, second triangle is this one over here, and they are both right angle triangles. Now, خلني بس أرسم ال two triangles separately عشان we do the analysis separately. زين. فعندنا أول شيء ال big triangle, something like this. زين. هذا it's simply just point O. هذا هني is simply point D. زين. وهذا it's simply point B. Okay. شنو الانجل هني؟ It's 60 degrees. This is the larger triangle, ال BOD. Okay. طبعا هني نعرف what the height is here. What is the height here? It's this height 12. ليش؟ لأن this is from the bottom to the top of the building. إذا سوينا خط هني this is a perpendicular line. فمعناته this height من هني لين هني كامل لازم also it has to be 12. So this is also 12 meters. عندنا an angle, it's a right triangle. عندنا an angle. إنزين. Now we can find anything else related. بنشوف شو what we need to find, but first let us draw the second triangle, a smaller triangle. إنزين. The smaller triangle is going to look something like this. تقريبا يعني. إنزين. بعدين هني straight line. وهني straight line. Again, this is point O. This is point B. بس الحين this is point T. Now, احنا we need to find the X. هني مثل ما تشوفون ما عندنا ال X في الإكويشن ولكن as I said earlier this side, if I just look at this side, this vertical side, if I redraw it here, then this is O, this is D, and at some point here, then خلينا نقول مثلا هني, this is T, okay? This is this point T over here, then this is T. This is our lamp. This is our lamp, okay? Now, نعرف إن الlamp distance ماله X, and we know that this complete side from the top to the bottom, what is it? It's 12. ليش it's 12? It's 12 meters. ليش؟ لأن مثل ما قلنا هني احنا when we draw the building, this is from the ground, زين؟ يعني هاي الخط الجراوند مالنا هني, okay? This is just our ground. Okay, this is the ground. From the ground, both of them are touching the same ground. It's perpendicular. كأن it's a rectangle. One side of this is equal to the side of this. So we know this complete distance over here من فوق يعني من ال O لين ال D يساوي 12 meters. So this is also 12 meters. Now, الحين لأن نعرف this is 12 meters and we know this is X, زين. The remaining part up top here, remaining part اللي هو من هني لين هني, زين, just one second عشان يكون شوي أرتب, من هني لين هني, this side كم بيكون؟ طبيعي we will just do 12 minus x, لأن إذا نقدر نقول يعني مثلا نسميه هذا distance y مثلا, okay? نعرف x plus y يساوي 12, صح ولا لا؟ لأن this is x from here to here and this is y, so the total distance is x plus y اللي يساوي 12. فنقدر نقول y يساوي 12 minus x, فهني نقدر نكتب 12 minus x simply. تمام؟ nothing complicated here, just I'm doing simple math. إذا عندنا long distance إذا تبون تقصونه at a specific place, طبعا ال bottom side زائد ال top side بيساوي القطعة كاملة. Now what is this distance? Let's assume this is OT. And then from here, from O, from O over here to T, what is this? This is the small triangle's distance, OT. يعني هني this is OT. So we know that this over here is Y. Y is equal to 12 minus X. لأن this is our OT, لا? Oops, this is our OT. This is OT. For 12 minus X, this is the same height. We know that OBT, OBT الانجل ماله 30 degrees. So we know this is 30 degrees. انزين ان شاء الله بخلص هالسؤال وبعطيكم بريك. انزين الحين we know that this angle is 30 degrees. We know that y is equal to 12 minus x. انزين we are missing one more component. What is the same thing here and here? ال BO. انزين let's call it مثلا D, distance D. أو لأنه we have a point D, let's call it L مثلا. زين L. ف B and O, L, هني BO, so it's the same distance L, which is this distance over here. من ال B لين ال O. صح ولا لا؟ It's the same thing. So this distance L بنسميه. Now we cannot find it from here لأن here we have two unknowns. عندنا ال Y or the 12 minus X and the L. بس هني عندنا ال distance كامل. عندنا ال 12 meters. So we can find our L value. How can we do that? Very simply, we have a right triangle. زين. We have an angle of 60. We use our basic Pythagoras or sine rules وكل هالسوالف اللي نعرفها عشان نطلعها. So how do we do that? We know that if I just redraw this down again عشان we solve for it. زين. So we know that sine of any angle is equal to opposite, يعني بكتب theta is opposite over adjacent. We know that cosine is opposite over hypotenuse, sorry. زين. Hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. With tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. زين. Now we look at the angle we have. We have 60. L is adjacent, so we need an adjacent. Well, 12 is opposite, so we need an opposite. شو اللي عنده opposite to adjacent? الtan. So tan of 60 is equal to opposite اللي هو 12 in this case over the adjacent which is L. If I rewrite this formula, L is equal to 12 over tan 60. All I did was يعني وديت ال L فوق ونزلت ال tan 60 تحت مكان ال L. Alright? So simple trigonometry طلعنا ال L الحين. ال L is equal to 12 over tan 60 which is going to be equal to 4 square root 3 which is equal to تقريبا 6.928. تمام؟ Of course you can also use sine rule. طبعا يعني you can use sine rule. ترى sine rule is basically يعني this derivation مال opposite to hypotenuse is derived from sine rule. بس لأن in a right triangle it's a much simpler way, so there is a simpler method بدال ما نسوي sine rule حق شو اسمه. يعني تقدرون تسوون sine of 60 و 12 وهذا بس why you don't need to do that. You could just do opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse, or opposite over adjacent, simpler rules more directly. But you are correct, you can use sine rule. No, not a mistake. Now طلعنا ال L. الحين احنا ما نبغى نطلع ال L، احنا شو كنا نبغى ال X value مالنا. نبغى ال height of the lamp. The question says what is the height of the lamp post? How do we do that? Now we can solve the second triangle that we got. The second triangle الحين اللي طلعناه حصلنا ال L. ال L is 6.928. All right? Same exact thing. This is a right angle. نقدر نسوي tangent of 30 is equal to opposite, which is in this case ال y over L, أو نقدر نقول ال 12 minus x directly over L. فtan 30 is equal to 12 minus x over L شنو 6.928. زين الحين شو نسوي؟ نبغى نطلع الاكس فبنودي 6.928 فوق بنضرب just both sides with 6.928 فبيستوي 6.928 times tan of 30 is equal to 12 minus x x is equal to 12 minus 6.928 tan 30. I'm just يعني قاعد احل الايكويشن and then I know I'm going over some steps. فالاكس بيساوي 12 minus 6.928 times tan 30, which is going to be equal to just going to be equal to 8. Okay, 8 meters. أنا الحين ليش طلع لي بالضبط 8؟ أنا لأن الأنسر هذا 6.928 I put the whole thing with all decimal points. نصيحتي أنا إذا تبون exact number بدال ما تكتبون 6.928 في الكالكوليتر اكتبوا 4 square root 3 عشان يطلع لكم exactly 8 when you are solving. زين يعني بدال ال L تقولون equal to 6.928 قولوا L is equal to 4 square root 3 وخلوه كذي. زين اكتبوا بس مرة in decimal form عشان يكون عندكم فكرة how large it is. بس عشان المور accurate answer الاكس مالنا بيطلع more accurate. So this is the final answer. The x value is the height of the lamp and we got it. Very simple, but I will recap very quickly. We look at the triangles where we have the angles known. يعني احنا ليش اخترنا هاي small triangle ولا big triangle؟ ليش مثلا ما اخترنا التراينجل هذا اللي تحت؟ زين او اخترنا التراينجل اللي في النص؟ لأن ما عندنا enough information في هالتراينجلز. You can مو بأنه ما تقدرون، بس الانفورميشن بتشوفون يا أصعب عليكم يا longer procedure لأن ما عندكم enough information. هني عندكم الانجلز which already help and it's a right angle triangle. 90 degrees triangle معناته you need one angle one side وتحلون كل شيء which makes it super easy. فهني عندنا one angle. حق البيج تراينجل عندنا السايد حتى ال 12 متر والسمول نقدر نطلع من البيج 1 اسايد عشان نطلع السمول الاكس فاليو مال السمولر من السمولر تراينجل and that's it. So any questions about this؟ حاسبوا بس في الدروينج اظني في الفيجر اظني هني كان مكتوب 30 degrees. This is not 30 degrees, this is 60 degrees. انزين So just keep that in mind. There was a mistake. This is supposed to be 60 degrees. ليش؟ لأن if you look at the angle, إنزين الangle with this line is a 60-degree angle, not a 30-degree one. So that's a mistake in the drawing. وايد عقدني هالشيء يعني يوم كنت I was practicing it. فميك sure شوفوا هاي 60 لأن this is alternate interior angles. إنزين. فهني عندكم parallel lines وعندكم a line going through. فالalternate interior angles have to be equal. So if this is 60, this has to be 60. All right. So that's a mistake in the drawing في السؤال. All right. بناخذ بس a 10-minute break. All right. عشان الناس اللي ما صلوا اللي راحت عليهم الصلاة whatever. إنزين. ناخذ 10-minute break. اللي عنده أسئلة يسأل الحين. All right. بعدين إن شاء الله whoever wants to go they can go and come back in 10 minutes يعني at 6:40. تمام. وبنكمل شو اسمه. أحمد هو على حسب أحمد محمد يعني على حسب حلك. يعني أنت قاعد تقول يطلع لك 6 متر بيكون عندك شيء غلط في الحل. يعني اتأكد من how you use the sign rule إذا سويتها بطريقة صحيحة. لا تنسى حق sign rule if you're using sign rule لازم تستخدم sign of this angle over the opposite side و sign of this angle اللي هو بيكون هني over the opposite side اللي هو over L. و ما عندنا احنا الهايبوتنيز فما تقدر تستخدم الرايت انجل. زين. okay. Can you repeat the last part of the question? I'm confused. You want me to repeat which part بالضبط يعني من بعد التراينجلز how I formed them, how did I get the final answer ولا شنو؟ Can you be more specific about one? The OT solution هذا هني كيف طلعت ال OT هني؟ Okay. First I will repeat the OT. We know that the building's height is 12 meters. زين. And we know this lamp is X. We عرفناه كX. We also know in from point B to point O this is a straight line. زين. And B يعني is parallel to OD. يعني building is parallel to OD. So we know that this side it's كأن عندنا rectangle هني. And the rectangle the opposite lengths have to be equal and the opposite widths have to be equal. For the total size هني it's 12 meters. زين. Simple. Now if you want me to go a bit more detailed هني عندنا ال X وعندنا هني OT which we don't know. فعندنا كان كذي. We have ال 12 this is all 12 meters. السايز كامل من فوق لتحت we know that it is 12 meters. زين 12 meters. كامل السايز هني. ونعرف لي point T يقولوا مثلا هني we know that from here to here it's X. من الجراوند هذا ال height of the lamppost هذا اللامب بوست نفسه. فبقى لنا هالقطعة. زين بقى لنا من هني لين هني which we don't know what it is. زين فرضا let's call it another variable لأنه ما نعرف شو هو let's call it y. اوكي. فبالمنطق يعني إذا أنت الحين سحبت خيط. زين الخيط اللي سحبته أنت كامل 20 متر مثلا. زين اللينث ماله 20 متر الخيط. أنت قصيت الخيط هني. قصيت الخيط هني. قست هذا السايز ماله 5. زين هذا السايز ماله كم بيكون؟ بتسوي 20 minus 5 صح ولا لا؟ أو 5 plus this value over here has to be equal to 20. فهني بيكون 15 لازم لأن 5 plus 15 يساوي 20 بالمنطق. يعني لو قاس خيط زين لازم السايزز يوم تزيد لو قاس 20 متر من الخيط لازم يوم تضيفهم بيساوون 20 في النهاية. So the exact same idea هني x plus y زين it's the full distance لا فلازم يساوي 12. فلو نبغى نحله in terms of y يعني يكون على صوب ال y بيساوي 12 minus x بس. اوكي احمد فهمت النقطة شوي وصلت المعلومة؟ اوكي تمام. Can you repeat how you did how did I draw the triangles؟ انزين التراينجلز انا no problem احمد. اذا التراينجلز انا كيف رسمتهم مثل ما قلت لكم انا في البداية I saw here which are the known angles I have and which ones have variables or values I can utilize. How did I do that؟ أنا أول شيء أشوف شنو عندي right triangle لأن it makes it easier لا. فشفت هني عندي أول right triangle اللي هو if I want to just clarify it. زين This is my first right triangle اللي هو كذي كذي إنزين و This is my first right triangle إنزين طبعا هذا شوي lower. Okay, this is my first right triangle الأخضر. This is my first one. So BOT إنزين BOT is this one BOT. I chose it. I chose لأن عندي الانجل ماله, so I can put an angle 30 and I know that this is a right angle over here. إنزين this is a right angle. Okay, so I chose this as one of my triangles. إنزين وماي second triangle I chose وليش وبعد هني نعرف انه y is equal to 12 minus x فعندنا ال variable that we need to find which is the x variable. The other triangle I chose the bigger one. ليش؟ لأن I know this full size is equal to 12. So the second triangle I chose إذا نحصل لنا لون ثاني حلو بس نغير شوي. أخذ برتقالي. إنزين. The other size I chose was or other triangle I chose was this one. Okay. Up here all the way to O. ليش I chose this one? Again, I know the angle is 60 degrees of that triangle. إنزين. So the angle of that triangle is 60 degrees. فعرفنا ان الانجل 60 degrees ونفس الوقت I know this distance from here all the way till here. This distance is 12 meters. إنزين لأن it's a rectangle ف 12 meters هني أكيد هني بيكون 12 meters. فعندي الحين 2 dimensions. With a right triangle, if you have 2 dimensions, you can find the third. What is the third dimension? ال L value هني. This L is similar in both triangles لأن BO و BO عندنا. So it is similar in both the triangles. تمام؟ That's why I chose these triangles in this way and then I started solving the triangles. Does that make sense? Yes خالد تقدر تحلها بهالطريقة. It's the same thing. يعني you can use another triangle. Let's use your method because I liked your method. بس I was trying to avoid using sine rule مثلا. But since you guys know sine rule, you could use that method as well. So what Khalid did is basically he took this angle here. This is a 90-degree angle هني كامل. So if this is 60, this has to be 30. 90 minus 60. إنزين. وهني عندنا 60 the total angle. And this is 30. So we know that this angle over here, the smaller angle, is also 30. اوكي فهو شو سوى هني طلع الانجل بعد طلعاه it is 120 degrees. How do you do that لان 120 ولا 110 110 المفروض 110. How do you find out this angle? It is simply just the angles of a triangle. زين angles of a triangle is 180, so minus 30 minus 30 is equal to 110. The angles of a triangle. هذا اللي سواه. وبعدين خذ التراينجل اللي تحت طلع هني سماه X or something اللي احنا سميناه L. طلع ال L من البوتم تراينجل directly. زين وبعدين بعد ما طلع ال X سوى شنو طلع ال L قصدي he did Pythagoras theorem so he can find out this size. زين this hypotenuse. بعد ما طلع الهايبوتنيوس هني استخدم ساين رول لان عندنا الفاليو مال هذا we have the value this. سوى sine rule of opposite 110 يعني sine 110 over the hypotenuse و sine 30 over x and then he found the x directly. So you can do that method as well if you would like. That works as well. اه 180 minus 60 صح 120 يعني انا كنت غلطان 110 sorry 120 120 مخي شوي ضارب في الكويك ماث. زين 120 زين 120 اوكي sorry about that. هذا تحصل لا تسوي هنا في الامتحان بس. انزين so هذا الطريقة اللي هو سواه. alright so it's the same thing يعني هو بس he drew one triangle. زين if I just copy paste this very quickly عشان بس تشوفون هو شو سوى if you prefer it that way. زين هو he just drew this triangle. زين اللي هو هاي 12 meters. هني طلعه 60 degrees. زين او من البدايه alternate anterior angle 60 degrees وهني قال ال ماله هني. okay since you have simply right triangle we can just simply do sine. Oh, in this case this is adjacent, this is opposite, so we could just do tan 60 is equal to opposite which is 12 over L, so L is equal to 12 over tan 60 اللي طلع لنا 60 اللي طلع لنا 4 square root 3. زين هو طلع ال L بعدين شو سوى استخدم بايثاغورس فقال let's call this خلصوا الحروف let's call this ما أعرف y لا قلنا y t x w w يلا let's call it w. زين ال w squared is equal to ال 12 squared plus 4 square root 3 squared. a squared equal b a squared plus b squared equal c squared Pythagoras عشان يطلع ال w فطلع ال w is equal to the square root of 144 plus 4 square root 3 بيكون 4 squared times squared 48 yes. زين so this is w is equal to 8 square root 3 or you can say it's 13.856 meters. زين فهذا طلع لنا ال w الحين. بعد ما طلع هال w زين he went back to the main figure again واستخدم هال triangle اللي it's not a right triangle بس عندنا all the angles for. alright so he took this triangle then he took this triangle هذا ال w اللي هو 8 square root 3 اوكي هذا الانجلز عندنا كله عندنا الانجل هني 30 عندنا الانجل هني 30 وهني عندنا 120 alright وهذا الإكس لأن this is our X هني this is our X وبس استخدم sine rule sine of X sine of 30 degrees هني هذا opposite to it is X over X is equal to sine of 120 over 8 square root 3 زين then you just solve for X فبيستوي sine 30 times 8 square root 3 over sine 120 is equal to X حطونا في الكالكوليتر X is equal to 8 meters. Like I said, you can solve it in many different ways. في حتى طريقة ثانية بس it's a bit more complicated. بس حتى في طريقة ثانية إنزين بس this يعني all of these work إنزين all of these are correct. تمام؟ المفروض يكون بالناقص لو عندنا الهايبوتنيوس الضلع. احنا ما عندنا الهايبوتنيوس احنا عندنا هني ال L اللي هو ضلع و 12 meters which is another side. الهايبوتنيوس is W. الهايبوتنيوس is equal to squared is equal to this squared plus this squared. مثل ما قلت في وايد طرق تقدرون انتم تطلعون شو اسمه يعني الساين وهذا بس I'm just showing you يعني الميثود that I used. Obviously if you find an easier method for you use it as long as it's following the trigonometry laws وفاهمين شغلكم كيف. تمام؟ انزين let's move on to the next question. Insane. Next question was this. A very easy question, a bit less complicated than the previous one. Insane. A vehicle entered the race and صار 20 دقيقة عادي اللي ما رجع خليه يشوف الفيديو for the start of this question. إنزين. A vehicle entered in a race and it is driving the paths D1 and D2 as shown in the figure below. Find the total distance D1 plus D2 that the vehicle travels. إنزين. فشو معناته؟ معناته عندنا D1 و D2 هذا الباث ماله إنه ركض من هني الستارت وبعدين هني ووصل للفينش. ومعطينا معطينا كل يعني required angles. What do we need to find? D1 plus D2. Now we can solve this very easily. يعني it should take only we're going to look at both triangles طبعا. أول triangle we will look at is this one. زين our right triangle. والثاني triangle that we will look at is going to be this one. Okay, so these are the triangles you're going to be looking at. التراينجل الأولي زين اللي هو التراينجل الأحمر. We know this is a right angle. زين فنقدر نطلع D1 بسهولة. شو نسوي؟ عندنا ال 200 meters which is one of our sides. زين يساوي 200 meters. So all we can say is this is الانجل اللي عندنا اياه 28 degrees. فعندنا 200 which is opposite و D1 which is hypotenuse. زين opposite hypotenuse شو يعني؟ يعني sin 28 is equal to opposite اللي هو 200 over the hypotenuse which is D1. Sin 28 أو D1 is just going to be equal to 200 over sin 28. تمام? And we found our D1. So D1 is going to be equal to 200 divided by sin 28, 426.011. Okay, meters. فحصلنا D1. Now, we need to find D2 الحين from the green triangle. So this was our first step من ال red triangle. Now, the second step من ال green triangle. Okay? We have a side. We have D1, which is one side. And then we have D2, which we don't know. And we have 15. Now we need to find the remaining angles. How do we find the remaining angles? We can نحصل هالangle. هالangle ايش كثر؟ we know the angle of a straight line is 180 degrees. زين وعندنا one side of it is 28 فبتسوون 180 minus 28 which is equal to 150 صح 152 180 minus 28 152 yes فهني الانجل is 152 degrees تمام الحين we have this angle بس احنا شنو نبغى الانجل we need to use sine rule we want to find the angle opposite to D2 which is the angle up here زين so to find this angle over here then what do we do angles of a triangle is 180 so minus 15 minus 152 is equal to 180 minus 15 minus 152 it's equal to 13 degrees تمام احنا why are we finding this 13 degrees then we need to find D2 we need to find the value for D2 but we need to find the angle opposite to 13 now when we apply the sine rule we have D1 السايد ماله and the angle of it so sine 15 over D1 is equal to sine الجديد اللي طلعناه مال 13 زين sine of 13 over D2 عندنا D1 بنعوض زين فإذا ردينا كتبناه بيكون sine of 15 over 426.011 is equal to sine of 13 على D2 D2 يساوي sine of 13 times 426.011 over sine of 15 so D2 is equal to so الكالكوليشن على السريع so sine 13 times 426.011 divided by sine of 15 D2 is equal to 370.265 زين فاحنا ما خلصنا السؤال حصلنا D1 و D2 بس what do they want? They want us to find the distance D1 plus D2 so D1 plus D2 is going to be equal to 426.011 plus 370.265 so it's equal to 370.265 plus 426.011 796.276 now keep in mind الديسيمال ممكن يختلف عندكم that's fine لأن أنا مرات أستخدم يعني الفول فاليو مال الديسيمالز على حسب الكالكوليشن وهذا بس it should be very close to each other زين فأنا طلع لي 796.276 for D1 plus D2 any questions about this I think this is very straightforward يعني ما يبغى له شيء question 5 اللي everyone enjoys to do we're gonna reach اللي هو logarithmics this is easy خلنا نروح ل question 5 how did we find 13 the angle بس بعيد angles of a triangle فإذا عندكم triangle زين في هالحالة عندنا هالتراينجل اللي كذي زين terrible triangle بس عندنا triangle كذي زين 180 degrees for a triangle so this angle plus this angle plus this angle need to be 180 degrees let's call this A B and C مثلا ف A plus B plus C is equal to 180 degrees زين فعندنا احنا ال 15 وال 152 ال A وال B ف 15 plus 152 plus C is equal to 180 degrees we take them to the other side عشان بنحصل C يساوي 180 minus 15 minus 152 اللي يساوي 13 degrees تمام this is how you find the angle moving on to the last question أو it's the last في كم من part حق هالquestion زين now solve the following indicial equation ها مستانسين متحمسين له الانديسيال equation فعندنا 8x أو 8 to the power of x times plus times 16x plus 1 is equal to 32. This is for me more fun than ال شو اسمه شو يسمونه التريجونومتري وكل هذا. I love doing algebra. It's the most fun in math. Now you guys think I'm a nerd, بس يلا. 8, what is 8? 8 is 2 to the power of 3, all to the power of x. Times 16 is 2 to the power of 4, all to the power of x plus 1. It's equal to 32. 32 is what? 2 to the power of 5. Then, how do we solve this, or how do we simplify this? We know when we have two powers, we just multiply them in each other. 3 times x, so 2 to the power of 3x, times 2 to the power of 4. So 2 times 4 times x plus 1, اللي هو بيستوي 4x plus 4. زين, that's 4 into x and 4 into 1. 4x plus 4 is equal to 2 to the power of 5, اللي هو, this is 2 to the power of 4x, زين, و 2 to the power of 5. Since we have all the bases are the same, زين, before doing that, we have to simplify this even more. Since we have the same base, 2 and 2, 2 and 2. So the rules in indicial equations is when you're multiplying the same bases, you're going to add L power. So it's going to be 2 to the power of 3x plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 2 to the power of 5. Now, like I said, لأن عندنا the same base, we could just simply say 3x plus 4x plus 4 يساوي 5. If we simplify this more, it's 7x plus 4 is equal to 5. 7x is equal to 5 minus 4, which is 1. X is equal to 1 over 7. تمام؟ Easy? أنا طريقتي the easiest way I can say يعني إن تطلعون divisions أو إن هاي كيف طلعناه power 3 كيف هاي طلعناه power 4 هاي كيف طلعناه power 5. What do we do? أنا أخذ الكالكوليتر, I do 8, we know it's an even number, so I divide by 2. زين, and I see how many times I can divide it by 2. I divide it by 2 يساوي 4, and then 4 divided by 2 يساوي 2. So عندنا how many 2s? 1 2 3. زين, لأنه وصلنا لل 2, وصلنا للنمبر that we want, so it's 2 power 3. Same thing I do for the 16. 16 divided by 2 يساوي كم؟ 8. وسوينا already حق 8, فنعرف إن this is basically 2 power 3. بس خلينا نكمل. 8 divided by 2 4. 4 divided by 2 2. كم 2 عندنا؟ 1 2 3 4. 2 to the power of 4. And then نفس الشيء 32 divided by 2. 30 divided by 2, 16, divide by 2, divide by 2, 2 to the power of 5. If you count the 2s. زين, this is how you do the first step. عشان تطلعون إن هذا 2 to the power of 3, هذا 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 5. The idea is we want the same base number. All right? Because we want the same base number, why do we want قصدي the same base number? لأن we want to simplify الexponential. Exponential, we cannot change anything of it if ما عندنا the same exponents. All right? Now, إذا نبغى نكمل هني برد أعيد. زين, هذا الحين لين هالstep I think everyone got it. So what do we do? The power rule for powers. إذا عندنا a to the power of مثلا 4 to the power of 5. The exponential rules, one of the rules for an indicial equation specifically, إذا عندكم power of a power, this is going to be equal to a 4 times 5. a to the power of 4 times 5. فالحين قاعدين احنا نطبق هالقانون هني. فعندنا 3 times x, so 2 to the power of 3x times 2 to the power of 4 times x plus 1, يعني 4 times x plus 1 equal to 2 to the power 5. زين, as you can see عندنا هني 4x plus 1. نقدر بس نعوض ال 4 في ال x, ال 4 في ال 1, and that's all I'm going to do now. 2 to the power of 4 to x plus 4 is equal to 2 to the power of 5. alright بس اللي سويته اللي يعني وزعت معوض sorry وزعت ال 4 into the x plus 1. Now عندنا same bases here 2 and 2. Since these are the same base we can شو القانون يقول لنا لو عندنا a times a to the power of 3 و a to the power of 4. This is the same as saying a to the power of 3 plus 4. إذا تبوني أفهمكم هذا ليش let's take a number example. خلنا ناخذ 2 squared times 2 to the power of 3 مثلا. زين this is like saying 2 times 2 حق هذا البارت times اللي هو هذا times بس. زين 2 times 2 times 2 اللي هو هذا البارت. Okay. So what is this saying? This is saying whatever power you have here عندك 2 of them وهني عندك 5 of them 3 of them. If we add it, this is like saying عندنا 2 to the power of 5. That is why you can simply just add the powers for the same base. زين. Now, for the rule is a times عندنا same base, we just add the powers. So in this case, 2 to the power of 3x plus 4x plus 4. All of this is in the power طبعا. All right. This is going to be equal to 2 to the power of 5. Now, like I said before for review session, لأنه we have same bases. زين. ما نقدر نقول مثلا 2 to the power of 6 يساوي 2 to the power of 5 صح؟ غلط. إذا عندنا same bases لازم هذا يكون equal to هذا. لازم نقدر نقول 2 to the power of 5 is equal to 2 to the power of 5. These have to be equal. 2 to the power of 4 plus 1 بعد نقدر نقول مثلا is equal to 2 to the power of 5. These have to be equal. فنفس القانون هني بنسويه. These have to be equal. This part with this part. For the same base ها البيس لازم يكون the same اللي هني 2 و 2 عندنا. So 3x plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 5. And now we just solve the equation. 7x is equal to 1. زين بس ال 4 يعني وديت الصوب الثاني. 7 sorry x is equal to 1 over 7. Done. Okay. الكوادراتيك سكتش فيديو عندي اياه في الديسكورد ان under math foundation هناك you can find it. The foundation section for math هناك I put all the videos for graphing وكل هالسوالف. Any questions about the first part A? فهمتوا شو سويت الحين؟ Is it a bit better? A bit clear? This case the bases were not similar. احنا كان عندنا different bases. That's why we simplified it so that they can have the same base. إنزين. In this case ما بيجيبون لكم سؤال where you cannot find the base directly. In a different question, I think there is one that we will see soon. بيكون different bases, I will show you how. No issues. بس بيعطيكم سؤال إنه you just need to know how to find the same base. follow this technique إذا أنتم مو بحافظين طبعا يعني I don't expect you to. إن تشوفوا okay these are all even numbers that it has to be all divisible by 2. Then they have to all have a power of 2. They just keep dividing by 2 by 2 by 2. إذا وصلتوا ل 2 okay that is correct. إذا ما وصلتوا ل 2 try a different number. Maybe they're all divisible by 4 يعني it's 4 squared كذي or something like that or 6 or whatever. زين but it's not going to be too over complicated. أهم شيء you understand the concept. Okay. Now let's do part B. Part B. عندنا half log x squared minus log 2x equal to this one is so easy. Super easy. صح ولا لا؟ super easy. علمتكم كل القوانين مال اللوجز، علمتكم كل القوانين مال اللوجز. You just have to apply. أول شيء you see in a log, when you see log, you make sure all the bases of the log are the same. Since there is no base number mentioned, log is equal to log base 10. زين؟ بس we don't need يعني to put 10 وما أدري شو، بس إنه they all have the same base. زين. So what do they want us to do? They want us to find the x طبعا يعني. عندنا x is here. زين, and we need to find them. So we just apply the 3 rules we learned from log. اوكي. اول شيء we know ان الباور this is a power, this we can move it here as a power. صح ولا لا؟ this is our first rule اللي تعلمناه ان عندنا log of any number, let's say x to the power of 5. هذا ال 5 يا نقدر نطلعه هني نحطه 5 log x او نسوي العكس، يعني اذا عندنا 7 log x نقدر ناخذ احنا هذا ونحطه هني كباور. It's the same thing. انه yeah, you take it out or you put it in. So either take it out and multiply it to the log or you put it back in as a power of the entire log function. So this is what I'm doing for the first part. So it's going to be log x squared to the power of half minus log 2x is equal to log x plus log of 2. Now, and I'm going to do this very slowly step by step. بمعنى ان I don't want to skip any step أو أسوي two things in the same step عشان بس تفهمونه. Now, I can simplify the first term a bit more. This term, I can simplify it a bit more. How? عندنا two powers لا? Two powers, so you can multiply these two powers. So إذا سوينا بس on the side here, x to the power of 2 to the power of half. When we multiply this, it's going to be x2 times half. x2 times half is equal to 1. So x to the power 1, which is simply x. Okay? So we could just say this is the log of x minus the log of 2x is equal to log of x plus log of 2. Tamam? Now, remember the second rule, the third rule. شنو كان؟ إذا عندنا subtraction الحين عندنا we have subtraction بين ال two logs. What do? We can combine them and make it into one log. فإذا مثلا عندنا log of A minus log of B, this is the same as saying log of A divided by B. هاي قانون اللوج. قانون اللوج الثالث اللي هو log of A plus log of B يساوي log A times B. تمام؟ And we're just going to keep applying these rules to simplify it. So this was the first rule. زين اللي هو الباور we can take it out or put it back in the log. Second rule, minus between two logs of the same base, but in this case all of our logs are the same base, is going to simply be A over B. And if we add them, it's going to be A times B. So we just do that. For log of x divided by 2x. Okay, is equal to اللي هو هذا الx وهذا 2x. زين والماينس بيتحول لكم للديفيجن داخل اللوج. اوكي. and then log of x plus عندنا هني البلس. we have plus. What does plus mean? Inside the log it's going to become multiplication. We say log of x plus, which is times in here, of times 2. And that's it. Okay? So far so good. So far it's very simple. ما سوينا ولا شيء عجيب وغريب. بس قاعدين نطبق قوانين اللوج. زين. Now if we simplify what's inside the log, what's x divided by 2x? This is basically saying إذا الحين أنا بس بطلع هذا هني x divided by 2x, which is just equal to 1 over 2 لأن the x's will cancel. Okay, so we can say log of half is equal to log of 2x. زين الحين بالمنطق log of a number here زين log of this number has to be equal to the log of whatever the number here is. So these have to also be equal. صح ولا لا؟ log of half has to be equal to the log of 2x. So whatever the number in here يعني ما نقدر نقول log of 3 is equal to log of 4. طبعا غلط. They're two different numbers. This is wrong. This is not equal to. لازم نقول log of 3 is equal to log of 3. يعني log of 3 زين is equal to log of 3. طبعا بالمنطق يعني it's the same application of log. So these have to be equal. So this is the exact same thing we are doing here. We are just simply saying log of half is equal to log of 2x. So half has to be equal to 2x. So half has to be equal to 2x. بالمنطق. If you want to do it mathematically, what can you do? If you want to do it mathematically, you can just say we will raise both of these to the base law, base 10, base 10. We raise them both to base of 10. يعني نقدر نقول إن 10 to the power of half, 10 to the power of 2x. يعني a different method of doing this is by saying 10 to the power of half equal to 10 to the power of 2x. نفس المنطق بالضبط. الهاف هني it has to be equal to ال 2x اللي هني. So we will come back to this equation anyways. So like I said, it's going to be half is equal to 2x. 2x, we just solve for x. X is equal to half divided by 2, which is half, any times 1 over 2 times 2, which is equal to 1 over 4. Easy? قولوا easy, please قولوا easy. Easy, صح? Very straightforward. We found x. زين. I will repeat the last part بعد مرة. بالمنطق, if we have a log and a log, زين. Anything, if we only have يعني at the last thing, log of something has to be log of equal to log of something else. This something in this case, they have to be equal. يعني whatever is inside the brackets هني, these have to be equal. لأن ما تقدر تقول log of 4 يساوي log of 5 مثلا. ف log of half has to be equal to log of half, or in this case 2x. ف 2x we have to say is equal to half. That's why this will give us this formula اللي هو half is equal to 2x. وبعدين that's it. You divide both sides by شو اسمه by 2 انزين to solve for x, and then x is equal to 1 over 4 بس. I will show you the division. يعني division قصدك ما فهمته. انزين 2x is equal to 1 over 2. Divide both sides by 2. انزين when you divide by 2 it cancels out here. This division لأنه we are dividing, okay, تقدر تقول كأنك you're dividing by 2 over 1. أنا the way I learned it, okay, إن these two إذا ما بيعقدكم you will multiply these two and they will be the denominator, وهذا you will multiply it to the numerator. If this doesn't يعني ما يعقدكم إذا عندكم طريقتكم it's fine. So this is going to be 1 times 1 كأنه over 2 times 2. So this is equal to 1 over 4 بس. Easy. زين. حلو. We'll go to the next one عيال. Easy صح؟ كله easy. Even this one is easy صح؟ easy. كل حد لازم يقول لي easy. تقدرون تحلونه بنفس الطريقة. Why is it super easy? We have the same base 2 and 2. زين. So how are we going to solve this? عندنا بس I'll just rewrite the equation عشان يكون أوضح. Log 2 x squared minus 4x is equal to log 2 4 minus x plus 5. ال 5 هني بس you know why the 5 is here؟ عشان بس شيء يخرعكم شوي يقولون ليش ما في لوج هني؟ كيف نحله؟ قبل كان كلهم لوج. Don't worry at all. لا تحورون راسكم ويا ال 5. انتوا look at the logs. Simplify the logs. بعدين ال 5 it will simplify itself وياهم. So logs we will take it this log to the other side وبنخلي ال 5 بروحه لأنه خليه يولي ما نبغى. ف log of 2 base 2 x squared minus 4x minus, we're taking this to the other side, of log 2 4 minus x is equal to 5. خليه يولي 5. باي بعدين بنكلمك. We will look at the left side of this equation. How do we solve, how do you simplify this? زين. We have a minus. So what does minus do? Minus means division. For log of 2 x squared minus 4x divided by 4 minus x is equal to 5. Now we only have one log. We simplified it. Now شو كان قانون اللوج؟ شو معناته؟ معناته log of 2 of this is equal to يعني الباور ماله بيكون 5. بما معناه if we want to simplify it and remove the log we raise both sides to the power of 2 يعني 2 exponent كذي و 2 exponent كذي. فيعني 2 exponent كذي هذا بيتكنسل ويا اللوج فبيبقى لنا x squared minus 4x over 4 minus x is equal to 2 to the power of 5. هاي قانون اللوج، هذا أول شيء اللي شرحناه اللي تعلمناه شو معناته اللوج. Of this base البيس ماله 2. The only reason احنا رفعناه by 2 is because the base is 2. That's why this is 2. That's why this is 2. لأن البيس ماله 2. إذا ما كان مكتوب البيس معناته it's 10 automatically. So you will do it with 10. Alright? Easy ولا مو easy؟ خلصنا. 2 to the power 5 is 32. How do we do this? Cross multiplication. زين. Cross multiply. So x squared minus 4x times 1, which is the same thing. 2 to the power 5 is simply 32. 4 minus x. You have a quadratic equation and you can solve the quadratic equation. x squared minus 4x minus بس بودي كل شيء الصوب الثاني and then I will simplify equals 0. x squared minus 4x minus 32 times 4. 32 times 4, 128 minus 128 minus 32 times minus x is 2e plus minus times minus x minus times minus is plus or 32x equals 0. X we will simplify it a bit more, so x squared minus 4x عندنا and 32x minus plus sorry 28x simply 32 minus 4 minus 128 equals 0. Find x1 x2 انتهى الموضوع. Okay, for x1 is going to be equal to x2 is going to be equal to بعيد, don't worry. A is equal to B is equal to C is equal to A is equal to 1, B is equal to 28, C is equal to minus 128. Calculator. If you don't like to use the actual quadratic equations for calculator mod 53 زين 128 minus 128 يطلع لنا 4 and minus 32, and this is your solution. Okay, done. Easy. I will repeat again من البداية. احنا our first step is we want to simplify. 1 second بس. احنا what we want to do is we want to simplify this equation. هذا equation اللي معطينا إياه. Okay. We just want to simplify. أول شيء what do we want to simplify? Logs. We want to get rid of log. زين. How do we get rid of the log? نوديهم كله صوب واحد, and anything that doesn't have log we will leave it on the other side. فin this case we will take this log and move it here. فعندنا log 2 of x squared minus 4x is equal to minus log 2 of 4 minus x is equal to 5. Simple. All I did was just move this term to the other side. Now, rule of minus في اللوج شي يعني you can تجمعونهم طالما we have the same base 2 and 2. We can just say log 2 x squared minus 4x divided by لأن الماينس is to divide 4 minus x equal to 5. Okay. Now تتذكرون يوم كنت أقول لكم log let's say base 10 of 10 to the power of 3 بيعطوا لكم الجواب 3. It gives you the exponent 3 for a base that is of 10. How do we solve this? We basically say 10 to the power of 3 يساوي 3 لأن log of 10 power 3 يساوي 3 لأن it's the same base. فlet's say we have log of 10 of a random number يعني 30 مثلا. زين. This is equal to x. شو معناته هالشيء؟ معناته 30 يساوي 10 to the power of x. لأن هذا شو معناته؟ معناته 10 to the power of 3 يساوي ال 10 هذا نوديه to the power of هذا اللي هو 3, which makes sense. تمام. So this is the log. هاي أول قانون اللي تعلمناه في اللوج. So we will apply the exact same thing here again. هني شنو البيس اللي عندنا؟ وعندنا 2. Okay. Log of base 2 فلازم نسوي 2 to the power of 2 to the power of اللوج بيتكنسل بيبقى لنا ال x squared minus 4x over 4 minus x is equal to 2 to the power of 5. زين x squared minus 4x is equal to 32 times 4 minus x and I'm just doing the cross multiplication الحين. بعدين سوينا الكوادراتيك equation solving اللي طلع لنا x squared minus أو plus 28x 32 into 4 plus أو minus sorry minus 128 is equal to 0 x1 x2 وبس. عشان we can solve for x لا. How can we find the solution of x here? How can we find the solution for x? لازم نسوي cross multiplication so we can start solving. The idea of moving this to the other side عشان you simplify. إذا أنت عندك طريقة تقدر تحصله كذي حصله كذي عادي. But I don't think you can. That's the idea is just to solve for x. That's the idea. إحنا نبغى نطلع الفاليو مال x. السؤال كامل is getting the value of x. Alright? Easy. كل حد لازم يكتب في الشات easy. ما بكون راضي إلا كل حد يكتب في الشات easy. 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 It's free. Easy. تي أباكم. Easy. صدق لأن it's really easy. كامل الامتحان يعني لو امتحانكم is similar to this حتى it's very easy. تمام. Glad. I'm happy. Any questions? About everything. Any questions? About everything we did so far يعني. بعدين باخذ questions مال يعني specific ones من worksheets وها and I will try solving them with you. آخر سؤال you want me to repeat again? The last question, you want me to repeat the last question again? I'm gonna upload it as soon as we're done with this shisma. And you can watch it through Teams as well. It's gonna be automatically uploaded through Teams if you want to watch it directly. Insane. Insane. I'll repeat this one last time. زين. ناخذ هذا بعد مرة. I will repeat this one last time. And I will try to do it a bit quick. زين. I will stop the video here. Okay. الrecording. Because يعني خلصنا الأشياء الأساسية. بعدين we can start a new recording for the remaining, but I want the midterm to be just separate by itself. So I'm just going to stop the recording now.